All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Look, if you're a factory owner, I know you're probably exhausted from trying to plan your production using, messy spreadsheets, random WhatsApp messages to your team, and, well, just pure gut feeling. It's stressful, right? Picture this, a VIP client calls asking for a status update on a massive order, and you're literally texting 3 different shift supervisors just trying to figure out if you even have the raw materials to start building the thing. If you're constantly scrambling to figure out what to produce, when to produce it, and with what materials, you are exactly where you need to be. Because there's a huge, night and day difference between the absolute chaos of manual tracking and the smooth efficiency of an automated system. On one hand, you've got that daily grinding stress. You know the feeling. Praying your spreadsheets are actually up to date, crossing your fingers that nobody accidentally deleted a crucial formula or forgot to log a shipment that literally just arrived yesterday. But on the other hand, automated production planning. This completely shifts your business from a chaotic, reactive state of constant firefighting into a proactive state of total control. Honestly, it might just be the single most important operational tool you aren't using yet. So let's unpack it. Section 1. The simple definition. What exactly is MRP? Okay, let's just strip away all the boring corporate jargon right off the bat. Manufacturing Resource Planning, or MRP for short, is essentially the brain that directly connects your sales demand to your actual production plan. Think of it as a system that literally does all the heavy mathematical lifting for you. Gone are the days of manually walking the warehouse floor, clipboard in hand, checking stock bins. You don't have to scramble with a calculator to figure out component shortages, and you definitely don't have to guess your lead times based on, say, how long a supplier took way back in October. It acts as this central nervous system for your entire factory.
And it does this by automatically answering 3 absolutely crucial questions for you, taking the guesswork completely out of the equation. Number 1, what do I need to produce? Number 2, what materials do I need to produce it? And number 3, when do I need to order or make those materials? When you try to do this manually, figuring out the materials for just one complex order can take hours. You're digging through vendor emails, trying to sync up all these overlapping lead times. It's a nightmare. But an MRP system instantly synthesizes the answers to these 3 questions. It saves you countless hours of administrative headaches and completely eliminates the very human risk of, well, just forgetting to order a critical part.
Moving on to Section 2. MRP in action, the wooden table scenario. Let's imagine this for a second. Let's say you run a busy furniture shop, and you just landed a fantastic sales order for 50 wooden tables. Amazing news, right? High fives all around. But the moment that excitement fades, the clock starts ticking and the operational anxiety kicks right in. Now, we know from your product recipes that each of those 50 tables requires exactly 4 legs, 1 tabletop, and 1 specific set of screws. Sounds incredibly simple on the surface, sure. But multiplying that across your existing workload, that's where things usually start to fracture. Because without MRP, someone on your team literally has to walk the warehouse floor. They have to physically check how many legs, tops, and screws are currently sitting on the shelves. Then they have to calculate the shortfall, compare it against whatever else is currently being built in the shop, and create purchase orders by hand, all while just hoping they didn't miss a single detail. In that scenario, you're stressed and super prone to manual errors. Maybe they miscounted a box of screws, and boom, production grinds to a total halt next Wednesday. But with MRP, it's a whole different ballgame. The system looks at your bill of materials, checks your current stock in real time against all your other active jobs, and automatically tells you, hey, you need exactly 40 more legs, 10 more tops, and 200 more screws, and you have to order them by Friday to hit your production date. It does all the heavy lifting and gives you a strict, calculated deadline to make sure you succeed. Section 3. The 5 core components, the mechanics behind the magic. So how does it actually work? Well, MRP relies on 5 fast, clear components to function as your operational brain. Let's break these down because this is where the real power lives. First up is your bill of materials, or BOM. This isn't just a list, it is the absolute DNA of your product. It outlines exactly what goes into it, right down to the final drop of glue. Second is demand planning. This uses your sales orders or forecasts to know exactly what quantities are needed and when, which prevents that terrible feast or famine cycle on the production floor. Third, inventory levels. This gives you those real-time stock counts so you can finally avoid the dreaded phantom stock. You know, where your spreadsheet says you have 10 parts, but the physical shelf only has 2. Yeah, we've all been there. Fourth is lead times. The system knows exactly how long it takes to receive materials. It maps out shipping times from overseas vendors, for instance, so it can work backward from your delivery deadline. And fifth, work orders and production scheduling. What's truly amazing here is that MRP doesn't just plan your materials, it sequences the actual tasks. It tells you exactly who is cutting wood on Tuesday morning and who is handling assembly on Wednesday afternoon. Everyone knows what to do and exactly when to do it.
Section 4. Why your factory needs it. Solving the real pain points.
The honest truth is, you have to stop relying on a single person's memory or some messy, color-coded spreadsheet to track what's happening on your floor. I mean, what happens when your production manager calls in sick for a week? Production shouldn't just stop. You also need to stop missing delivery dates just because a crucial component unexpectedly ran out mid-shift. That just damages your reputation with your best clients, and you definitely, absolutely need to stop over-ordering materials just in case. When you buy surplus materials purely out of fear, you're taking your hard-earned capital and tying it up in parts that are just collecting dust on a shelf. Ultimately, as your business grows, an MRP system scales smoothly right alongside your order volume. Manual tracking, on the other hand, it's guaranteed to fail, bottleneck your growth, and eventually lead to total chaos. Which brings us to Section 5, busting the big MRP myth. Who is this really for?
All right, the most common misconception out there, and I hear this all the time, is the myth that MRP is strictly for massive, giant corporate manufacturers. It's so incredibly easy to assume you don't need this kind of operational brain if you aren't some massive global enterprise running thousands of employees. You might be sitting there thinking, hey, we're just a small mom and pop shop. We aren't big enough for heavy-duty software yet.
But actually, scratch that. The reality is, even a small operation with just 2 or 3 product lines benefits tremendously. Why? Because the manual error rate and the crushing financial cost of stockouts or overstocking hurts a small business just as much, if not more, proportionally. Seriously, when your margins are tight and every single order counts toward keeping the lights on, you simply cannot afford the guess. A massive corporation, they can easily absorb a $10,000 purchasing mistake. A small, growing fabrication shop, not so much. Predictability is exactly how small shops turn into thriving mid-sized businesses. So if you are still planning production on spreadsheets, this is the upgrade that literally pays for itself. Moving away from manual tracking to an automated brain is the key to unlocking your factory's true potential. Systems like Odoo can help you seamlessly connect your sales, your inventory, and your shop floor to completely avoid wasted materials and those frustrating delays. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on. What would a perfectly planned, stress-free production floor actually mean for your bottom line and honestly your peace of mind this year?